Yung migration po sa digital system lang.
3 days ago lang. Ayan ang nakalagay, 3 days. Wala pa nga payout, binusa na din,
Meron pang naiwan na may deficiency sa paperwork. That one has to be complied with. May I request the secretary, I'm sure, will have his team look into it kung ano tong mga specific na complaints kasi confident sila na ang naiwan na lang ay yung may deficiency po sa paperwork.
Okay. Sounds good to me, Mr. President. Example is mga complaint. Last naman to, email that I received recently. Completed yung kanyang mga requirements, daily time record, accomplishment reports, pre- and post-assessment of students, submission of attendance, account details, etc. Those are the requirements, I believe, tama, Mr. President. Yeah, okay. So pag na-comply ito, dapat walang problema, dapat mababayaran siya, hindi na abutan ng 1, 2, 3, 4 months. Kasi these 3 people, Mr. President, they complied.
So the secretary is giving me a number of reasons, a number of causes for the delay, like the signatures change, the addresses change. So these are things that they need to verify, of course, before they release the payment. But again, if His Honor would like to provide the information, they can easily verify that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And lastly, yeah, just for the record, I'm very supportive sa budget ng DSWD. Lalo pa, meron kayong magandang pilot project na sana mag-go na yun, yung tulong para sa mga children with disability, especially yung nabanggit ko, autism, yung cerebral palsy, sana dumami pong beneficiary. Kung kinakailangan yung mas malaking budget, I'll fully support it. Pwede ko ilaban yan dito sa Senado na para madagdagan kasi nakikita ko kung gaano kahirap para sa mga magulang na yung kanilang mga anak ay may problema, autism, cerebral palsy, what have you. Napakahirap po yun. And some of them, they come to my program pero I can only do so much. That's why go ahead with that pilot project. Napakaganda yan sana. I-go nyo na yan. And again, sobrang nakakatuwa malaman na meron kayong ganung programa.
Actually, it's considered increase na pala, Mr. President, kasi the House version is already increased from 44 million to 75? Sorry?
Additional 75.
Additional 75. So, yung binanggit ko na can we support if it's the, because yung tinitingnan ko, syempre at the time that we reviewed this in the hearing, wala pa tayong gab. But yung gab na yun reflects a 75 million increase. So that's more than almost double an increase kasi from 44 plus 75.
That's all. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you for your patience, Madam Sponsor.
Thank you, Mr. President. We are happy to respond to the questions.
Mr. President, before we continue, I'd just like to take this opportunity to greet our colleague, Senator Robin Hood Padilla, for his birthday yesterday, November 23, 2025.
Yes, wishing Senator Robin Padilla a very blessed happy birthday.
Next to third plate is Senator Francis Kiko Pangilinan. I move that he be recognized.
Senator Francis Pangilinan is recognized to interpolate. Thank you very much, Mr. President, Majority Leader. May we know if the distinguished sponsor, the Senator from Taguig, will be willing to answer a few questions.
Yes, Mr. President, we are happy to hear the concerns of His Honor, to clarify to the best of our ability. Thank you.
Thank you. First, I'd like to also thank Secretary Rex. One of the first cabinet members who pushed for the publicly supporting the Sagip-Saka Act, the direct purchases by national government and local government agencies sa ating mga farmers and fisherfolk organizations. Wala pa man yung GPPB resolution at medyo hindi pa maliwanag ang ilang mga concerns, may mga questions on COA, etc. But Secretary Rex saw the value and importance of the measure. But now, the GPPB resolution is finally out. There was one prior to this latest one, but maraming mga issues at questions. But naayos na nila. And so, with the GPPB resolution as well as Executive Orders 100 and 101 on the full implementation of the Republic Act 11321, we now see many of the hurdles that we were confronted with in its implementation since it was enacted as law in 2019. We now see these hurdles being set aside. In fact, in the last two elections, as I would go around the country bringing the law and turning it over to many of the local officials, governors, mayors, vice mayors, many of them were, number one, unaware that this law was actually in place, and number two, for those who were aware, they were concerned because there were COA questions, in its implementation. In fact, just 2 weeks ago, last week, one local official here in Metro Manila, who the LGU is actually purchasing directly from farmers associations in Isabela, and yet she was unaware, the mayor was unaware that such purchases by local governments no longer requires public bidding, which means there is a urgent need for more information dissemination. But having said that, my question is, how much does the DSWD, the total budget for food, not considering the rice allowance, which is paid in cash, but actual food purchases, supplemental feeding, would you have this figure? I know your budget, at least the one being proposed, is 9 billion, Madam Sponsor, for supplemental feeding. But sa kabuuan, hot meals program, kasama yun sa supplemental feeding, I recall. Is that still in place? So the question is, magkano ang binibili ng DSWD na pagkain taon-taon? Isama na rin siguro dito yung 3 billion quick response fund. Magkano dun ang actual na binibiling pagkain tulad ng bigas?
So I'll start with there are a number of programs that require the purchases of food. For the supplemental feeding, the budget is 9.41 billion. Then for the quick response fund for disasters, it's 3 billion. And then there's one more, the Bangon Fund. And I'm just waiting for the numbers.
Yes, yes.
160.47.
Tama? Okay. So this is the Bangon, this is the Bangsamoro Umpungan sa Nutrisyon, This is 160.47 million. And there's another one. Yeah. Walang gutom. 1.89 and then walang gutom is 1.89 billion. So 9.41 plus 3 billion plus 1.89 billion plus 160 million.
13,
160. So about
1, 2,
13,
3,
9, 3,
4, 13, 14,
Mga 14.
about 14 billion.
Yeah.
And this is there's a breakdown. If I recall in the previous Senate, the 19th Congress, when I was still in the Senate, there was a breakdown of the hot meals or supplemental feeding program as to pork, chicken, vegetables, rice. I don't need the figures now, but perhaps it can be submitted.
25 pesos per child.
25 pesos per child. This is the food cost budget, but I remember a submission by the DSWD as to the purchases of rice, pork, vegetables, chicken.
Broken down by
Yes.
commodity.
Yes, if it
We
can
will
be
submit, Mr.
If it
President.
can be submitted, because this will give us a sense. In fact, I recall when I was raising this issue in 2021. Yes, our last budget debates before I stepped down, and we asked the DSWD then, what was the basis for their purchase of their food items. It was not sagip-saka. It was a PD. And I was wondering why they were not implementing the Sagip-Saka Act, but precisely lack of information, the corresponding implementing rules were not yet enacted, etc., etc. But now, fast forward to today, with the EOs and with the GPPB resolution, I am assuming that a bulk of these purchases can now, not necessarily 100%, but I think a significant amount of your budget for pork, for fish, for chicken, for rice, could be purchased directly from farmers and fisherfolk organizations. Is that right?
Yes, Mr. President.
Yes. The 3 billion is for quick response. Is that correct?
That is correct. The 3 billion is for the quick response.
What is the breakdown of the 3 billion food for quick response? Is this for the calamity relief, the food packs?
It's a typical food pack with canned goods and bigas, kape, di ba? Bigas, kape, asukal, canned goods.
Yes,
Around 600 pesos per pack.
yes. And we have been coordinating actually with the Office of the Secretary, particularly itong nakaraang mga kalamidad. And I'd like to thank the Office of the Secretary for accommodating a number of the requests forwarded to us by the local governments, Cebu, among others. So maraming salamat. You have been very effective and very efficient in addressing these concerns. But and again, another concern, perhaps they may not have, you may not have the answers now, but just to place on record that maybe if a portion of the 3 billion can be, where possible, that it can be sourced locally. I don't know how you're going to work around that in terms of a program, because ang reklamo rin ng ating mga kababayan, again, in areas where it is applicable, laging sardinas, cup noodle, no, na hindi mga masasabihin na nating masustansya, no? So baka sakali pwedeng pag-aaralan ito ng Office of the Secretary at ng Departamento na paano incorporate yung masustansya ng mga items doon sa mga quick response for calamity relief. I know it's a challenge because especially pag depende dun sa kalamidad, pag naubos halimbawa yung lahat ng gagamitan, hindi na maaari makaluto, so yung mga sariwang